The analysis that we've done will show it varies. It varies from site to site, contract to contract. Surprisingly, we have sometimes seen people who are not on a contract staying longer than members who are on a contract. As I say, certain sites, certain conditions. The norm is that people with contracts stay longer, which is fairly obvious. However, I would always recommend that you have a non-contract option, or even that you don't offer contracts, because then you're going to work harder at keeping your members. You're not relying on the contract to keep the members. You're sending out the right communications. You're noticing when members are going absent. So I would suggest not having a contract, because you'll work harder and better at retaining your members. There is certainly a role for social media. I'm a big fan of social media. In terms of targeting members who you want to retain, while you can do very targeted social media campaigns, you can make social media posts very targeted, it's very difficult to contact a member who's maybe been absent for 21 days via social media, or all your members who haven't been in for 3 weeks, to contact them via Twitter. We've tried to collect Twitter handles and Facebook IDs, but it's nigh on impossible. If you're going to contact members who are absent and try and get them back and try and target members to retain them, text and email and post are the most effective ways of doing it. That said, social media is very useful for sharing, ultimately. Things like challenges, for getting referral campaigns out there, and for building a community of members, the club within the club. So yes, there's certainly a role for social, and that can be targeted, but in terms of sending direct messages out to members to retain them, we'll always lead on the traditional routes. So in terms of member communication channels, I would say email is overrated, really. It's certainly the most popular channel that is used to contact members, but and that's because it's cheap, or free if you're not doing it properly. And you also, you do get a lot of stats back from email campaigns, or from regular email sends. You know how many have been opened, how many have been clicked, which is interesting. But if you consider 100 members joining a club, if you're doing well, you'll be collecting 80–90% of their email addresses and having them opt in. And the first message you send, typically 10%, maybe 15% of those might bounce due to the member giving you the wrong email address, or there being some problem recording the email address within the club. So you're already down to probably 75% of messages that you're sending out to your new members. And the typical open rate for an email in the fitness industry is 19% at the moment. You can do better than that. We often see open rates of 40–50%, but even at 50%, you're only getting to 35 of your 100 new members with an email. That's with a compelling subject line, and you keep good content, you'll get good open rates, and that's how you can keep email alive and going well. But if you're going to contact an absent member, or if you're going to send out an important survey, or really want some good member feedback, then text is very powerful, very cost effective, maybe paying 3 or 4p per text if you're buying them in bulk. And in terms of getting absent members back, letters and postcards we find are the most effective. Of course, there's a cost offset there. You might be paying 54p for a second class stamp to send a postcard out to a member, but they do get members back into the club. So multi-channel, but don't just consider email, would be my suggestion in terms of member contact. I think the main angle on referrals is to talk to members. Use it as an interaction mechanism, which is going to help retain them. Tell them that if they refer a friend, they will stay for longer, and they'll be doing their friend a favour. And then 2 bits of advice I would say. One is to make the referral mechanism very easy. So to make it easy for the member and make it easy for the member, the prospect, if you like, that they're referring, so that they get their reward or whatever it is. They don't have to chase it. And also you need to change your referral offer. So many clubs have a referral offer that runs for 6 or even 12 months. It needs to be changed every month, I'd suggest. And maybe also you have a different referral offer, a different referral mechanism for new members. Because if you get those new members into the habit of referring people, the same way you get them in the habit of coming to the gym regularly, get them into the habit of referring regularly, they will keep referring more members, and ultimately they'll stay longer.